So, you know, I want to thank Jane for that great pep talk at the end of Arnie's and before the break. I don't know if all of you know, well, some of you know that I followed Jane in the job. The PLS director, Jane, was at PLS before she went to Redwood City. So we've been together a long time. And I want to thank Terry Jackson for pulling us together for this meeting, because she really has kept us on track and on point. And that's kind of hard. So we're going to talk about the strategic plan. And first I want to show you, this is the documents, and all of you have them someplace. We didn't send it to you all together again, but you've all seen the surveys. And these are the documents that went into the strategic plan. This is a strategic plan. So a lot of work went into this document. And what we did was, in November, just right before Thanksgiving, the executive committee met and decided that we were going to hire management partners, and we would have them help us with the strategic plan. And we talked to them and we said, we have 4 months. We need this done in 4 months. And we need it done by April 1st, you know, that day. And they said, okay, we can do that. So we had a small strategic plan team that consisted of Jane as the president of PLP, and Karen Burnett, who's our guest today, but who's only recently left. And she was on the committee to help and is part of the executive committee. 2 other people that joined the strategic plan team are Monique Laconge from Richmond and Donna Corbeil, who stepped in when we really felt we needed to have 2 more people with us. And then there was staff. There was Terry Jackson and Wendy Chow and me. And then, of course, Donna was always there with her pencil to see how much it cost. So that was the team. And in November, we signed the contract. By December, the team from Project Management Partners, was on the phone talking to all the executive committee members and also to some of the directors to make sure we had large, small, medium-sized libraries, and everybody was having something to say on the phone. They were about 20 minutes conversations, and they were based on a SWOT analysis. So it was strengths, opportunities, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Thank you. And I knew I would forget one. Anyways, those were words that we collected to use in the vision, the mission, and the value statements. That was done before Christmas. By New Year's, we were working on an online survey that we sent to every director in PLP and also to staff that have been on committees and were key staff in some of the libraries. We got back over 100 replies, and it was up for about 10 days or something. So I appreciate all the work that went into that. On February 8th, prior to February 8th, Management Partners did what they called a briefing book, which included homework for 2 workshops that we were going to have, which all the directors were invited to. And we had 24 people at the first one, which was in San Jose on February 8th, where we worked on the mission, the values, and the vision, and also the goals. We came away from that day, the whole day meeting, with a pretty solid plan in mind, which Management Partners took home and cleaned and pressed. And our next meeting was on March 3rd at San Jose. And actually, we got out early because, fortunately, San Jose had a fire drill for the whole campus at 2 o'clock, so we had to work very quickly. Actually, Jane, I was really happy when you called and said we're going to have a problem. And I said, no, we'll just work faster. We then we had a call with the team. We went through a draft of the plan. We had worked on the strategies at that second meeting and sort of redefined the goals and looked at it and said, do we still care about this? We fought over words. You know how good librarians are. I don't like that word. Let's get another word. Then we sent the whole thing out to all of you and asked for feedback. And we got some more of, we don't like this word, let's get rid of that word. But we finally said to management partners, put this thing to bed. And on April 1st, it was done. So I, am just really pleased. It's actually 2.5 pages long. And I would like to talk about it, but I would like to talk with you about it. I'm sure you've all read that, because it isn't very hard to read. And it's really quite concise. And I would like comments from the group, and also criticisms if you think there's things we shouldn't be doing, things we should be doing quicker, and things we missed. But we do want to approve it at the end of this. So, do I have any comments on this? I mean, does any of it strike you as something we can't do, something we're not able to do, or something we need to speed up and get going with? What did you do to them, Arnie? Let's look at the,
I just want to say, as having participated, this was one of the most fun strategic plans I've ever worked on developing. It was really interactive and lots of really good feedback, so I feel it's really great.
Anything else?
More testimonials?
This is too easy. I mean, how do you feel about our values? I mean, we had a lot of discussion back and forth and a lot of exchange on these. Do we miss anything? I was saying there was one word that people just hated that we kept in, and I won't tell you what it is, but you probably know. Okay? Nothing, huh? Well, Jane, maybe they're ready to vote.
Yeah, because I think they're ready for lunch, too.
Oh, that's it. I should have figured that out. Okay, do you want to be the president and, do whatever it is presidents do?
Well, I second that it was a lot of fun, and it was also just, I think, energizing. It helped, point to our future, but allowed us, we had a lot of good discussion about kind of what realistically can we do and can't we do, and what are our values. One of the most exciting things to me that we're talking about is developing some communities of interest. Representing one of the biggest libraries in the area, to have it easier for the large libraries to work together and the smaller libraries and libraries who have certain kinds of demographic characteristics. It's been more difficult when we've had separate systems. I think creates tremendous possibility for a lot of informal sharing of best practices, which may then move into PLP activities and programs. But I just think it could be really a game changer for a lot of us. So that particular one I was really excited about. Karen.
Can you guest speak?
Yeah, you can make. And we'll let Karen speak, and because she was such a vital part of this, you too, Karen.
Thank you. So I just want to say, not only was it fun, but it was really sort of fast. And for those of us that have been thinking about this for many years, I think probably 3-4 years, all of a sudden it really came together really clearly what we wanted this organization to be. And so I would be interested in knowing if the group feels that same way. Do those goals out there, do they really resonate with, yeah, now we know the reason why we're doing this, because I think that's where we were headed and what we wanted to have people come back and say, yes, it's clear now.
Any comments? The other thing I loved about this was we said 4 months and we meant 4 months, and it happened in 4 months. And there have been so many strategic plan things, particularly sometimes for our own jurisdictions that take 2 years, and everyone's sick of it by the time it's done. We came from a somewhat different place because, I think we started out with sharing and knowing a lot of stuff and being able to just move into that. But, to be able to do a strategic plan in a way that doesn't frustrate everybody was really exciting. And then I thought that using the SurveyMonkey instrument as a way to kind of break the plan down piece by piece and get real feedback from folks rather than just sending you a 15-page document and saying, please mark this up, which none of us would have had time to do, really resulted in us getting 100 comments back. And that was a big eye-opener about using some tools in a way to get feedback. I'm sure it's something we'll be using
I want to say
more.
one more thing before you vote.